division. Do these dragons even have homes to go to, or do they all just sleep in the same field like the sheep they're so eager to torch? And what about the eggs? Have they ever heard of a nest? Sure, she might be stealing dragon eggs now, but we all know she'll defect to our side. She's too cute to be a villain.
Get her! Stop her!
You are right there. Bend over and grab her.
We found some of the eggs, but they were too heavy to carry back.
But you can carry a deck chair and a beach umbrella just fine.
Spyro, you'll have to go. Nobody else can fit down the holes.
Yeah, no one except Hunter, apparently. Toys for Bob are big CinemaSins fans, I see.
Those eggs belong to us now, and I've hidden them in places you'll never find in 1,000 years.
Except for that one I found only 2 seconds ago, and all the other ones lying out in the open, and all the eggs that random denizens of the Forgotten Realms just so happen to have picked up. Spyro 1 has the dragons you interact with after freeing them from crystal statues. Spyro 2 has fun little cutscenes before and after each level to help make them feel like places that are actually lived in, as well as provide a funny or two. Spyro 3 has...
This Rhinoc is too big to charge. You'll have to flame him using the attack button.
The tutorial's in the right spot! A round of applause, everybody. Freshly hatched dragons emerge from their shells wearing glasses and bows because, duh, idiot.
I found this gladiator training arena that also makes for a pretty cool skate park.
When you think of gladiator arenas, do you think skate ramps?
If you can catch all the lizards before time expires without wiping out, I might be able to scrounge up another egg. It's not gonna be easy though.
Hunter has exactly 2 character traits. He's a klutz, and he doesn't give a fuck if Spyro needs orbs or eggs or whatever and will withhold them until Spyro humors him. Because, the lives of those unborn dragons aren't that important. I can certainly appreciate Insomniac wanting to add variation to the game rather than just having the same old gameplay loop of collecting gems and roasting baddies. But not only is the skateboarding pretty jank, especially when doing flips and spins and such, but when you've got a main character who's a dragon, why was skateboarding one of the first things you came up with to put in the game? You could have picked anything else.
I'm getting paid a fortune to keep Sheila the kangaroo locked up.
Naming your female Australian character Sheila, cliché.
Never thought I'd see one. You dragons used to rule this entire world, you know?
Can't believe they used a proper Australian as the voice for an Australian character. See, media industry? It ain't that hard. There's only, 27 million of us. It ain't that hard to find Aussie voice actors. Spyro 3 uses a mix of both in-game and pre-rendered cutscenes throughout as opposed to Spyro 2, and honestly it looks so much better without all that compression. Missed opportunity for a full-on Australian-themed level here. Also, what kangaroo lives in the Alps?
Last time we tried to get past this moose, he knocked Billy clean through a wall. If you don't mind, we'll just hang out here while you give him a good kicking.
Last time we tried to get past this moose.
It's so odd that they thought, let's make these 2 completely different characters with completely different voices say the exact same thing, instead of giving them different dialogue because, remake? We're supposed to be chasing sun seeds here, but all I see is Spyro chasing an emoji come to life. Having Sparks tell you which direction the nearest gem is enormously helpful, but not when he points in the direction of a minigame area only for him to point back out once you head inside.
Rhinocs are running rampant around here, but I can't get anyone out of the Tiki Lodge long enough to do anything about it.
I owe a Coke to whoever can tell me what accent this is. In a sense, it's probably for the best that Spyro 3 has more of a focus on minigames, vehicles, and alternative styles of play, because a lot of the main Spyro segments come off as very iterative of Spyro 2. Case in point, yet another Donkey Kong barrel rolling enemy. Of course I say that on the level where you pilot this stupid boat. It's not Seashell Shore unless you enter this boss arena only to spin out of control, because how do these controls work again?
You dragons must have a ton of talent.
You can change this text to not imply that this seal is racist to purple people, but not when 2 characters say the exact same thing? Okie dokie. Why do we have to kill all the Rhinocs when we're only trying to get the egg? And if the egg can't be retrieved, how are we able to grab it when this tunnel is a one-way trip?
Wow, I can't believe I survived that blast.
Snappy would be good at gaming sins. Sparks, I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up right now. Despite Spyro having set them on fire. Spyro stops on this random platform to fight this random boss when he could have just kept on flying to the next world.
I guess one of the judges didn't like it though. He threw this egg at me instead of a rose.
Nancy's on something fierce. There isn't any audience or judges panel to speak of.
These are the latest military hardware. BBX-9 rocket launchers, state of the art.
So why didn't you use them to escape?
Because I have limited ammo.
You have limited ammo as much as I have a consistent upload schedule. Both ginormous lies. Sergeant Bird is actually decently fun to control now. I mean, he still turns as well as an American-made SUV, but I certainly don't hate playing as him anymore.
Mission accomplished.
Despite Rhinox still being present within the base and several hummingbirds still locked in cages.
This door is jammed shut. Only the power of gems can hope to move it.
Moneybags, you cunt. Please stop making me give you all my fucking gems. I'm sick of your shit, you no good fat fucking bear. And lose some weight, Tubbs. Kill me now, I beg. Remember the alchemist? This is just like that. But oh no, of course we have to do it as that smelly kangaroo. We only do this because this asshole cannot walk around obstacles. Deliver me to the death which I so desire. It's snowing on Mount Fuji. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. It would be amiss of me to not sin the flossing skeleton, but sin the dabbing panda, but sin. Chinese turret section. What? If you guys get to be racist because of some stupid virus, then so do I. Seriously though, Asian restaurants and stores would appreciate your patronage right now. Please don't be racist because of a virus. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Oops, I forgot I hid this egg inside the statue.
Were you planning to suffocate the egg when it hatched then?
You can jump off the end of ramps by pressing the jump button. I'll show you how to do it once, then it's your turn.
If ever I've seen an unnecessarily late tutorial, this is it.
Anyway, I guess I should give you this other egg I found. I was gonna keep it for a pet, but I can't get it to hatch.
I am going to scream. A floss so nice, you gotta see it twice.
The sorceress is planning a trap for you, and if she catches you, believe me, you don't want to know what she's going to do.
That only makes me want to know more, dang it.
It took 24 Rhinox to capture this dim-witted furball.
Probably wouldn't be a lot of effort for him to break out of it then. Why give Bentley to Moneybags when it was clear that he was perfectly fine exactly where he was in the line of sight of the sorceress?
Where are you getting all this money, Spyro? It's not just lying around on the ground, is it? Is it?
Moneybags apparently can't see the giant glimmering gems littered everywhere he goes. Also, imagine naming your child Moneybags. Did his mother imagine he was going to be a money-hoarding bastard the second he fell out of a clam? Discount God of War. If this is Bentley and Bartholomew's home and they have to cause avalanches and make icicles fall to form bridges, how do they normally get around the place? Ah, yes, make seals the enemy in the level where you control the guy with the club.
Some bear sold us a laser defense system to protect us from Rhinox, but with these flippers, I can't even turn it on.
What kind of fucking excuse is that? This is a video game world where cartoon logic applies. Flippers are just as useful as anyone else's hands. It made sense calling this dragon Ba'a when they were wearing a sheep costume when they hatched. Either way, costume or no, it's a sin. Also, all these dragons already have names before they hatch, which seems like a pretty stupid idea when one of them hatches and when you see their bits between their legs, you suddenly realize that you should have waited before naming your dragon child Gavin. Also, mildly ironic that Spyro 1 gets a different model for every dragon, where the baby dragons in Spyro 3 actually get less diverse. I know not every minigame is going to be created equal, but whoever decided this was a good idea needs a right smack upside the head. You can cheese it easily by hitting high until the Yeti blocks, then immediately going for body blows and repeating ad nauseum until he keels over. There's no strategy or nuance, and it's just not that fun. This skateboarding race is actually kind of easy once you figure out not to do any tricks ever, because once you straighten yourself out after a flip, you shoot off in a completely random direction, usually off the side of the track. Because what's a Spyro 3 minigame without copious amounts of jank?
Oh, hello. It's good to see you again, Spyro.
Is it illegal to smack a child?
You'll have to take the long way around through these Rhinox to get to it.
Subtitles say Winox when handle clearly says Rhinox. What do you get when you combine two long noodly dragons with tiny hitboxes that can regenerate health, a projectile that's annoyingly slow, and no aiming reticle? Me questioning why I'm even bothering getting 100% on this game, that's what.
Isn't Prince Asriel just the dreamiest?
Yeah, he's dreamy, but he ain't no dreamer.
The whole temple is full of nasty cat witches anyway. We just have to call off our date.
Wow, what a boring place for a date. At least take her out to the movies, man. I mean, I heard the Playmobil movie was good. These speedway races are sometimes utterly ridiculous. The controls make it very difficult to hit the stars for extra and very necessary boosts while also trying to quickly get back on the track and hit the green rings. And even if you manage to hit most of the boosts, you'll still probably only win by the skin of your teeth. There's challenging, and then there's this maddening bullshit.
There's a really big sheep UFO around here, and it's trying to get me. I snatched up a dragon egg it was trying to abduct, and now it wants revenge. You wait here, I'll lure the UFO down the river of honey.
Hunter, my man, my dude, my guy. The dragon that's collecting the eggs is standing right in front of you. Give it to him. We've been at a point since the early 2000s where the use of 2 analog sticks has been the widely accepted standard, so why were the Sparks levels remade exactly as they were in the original and not as a twin-stick shooter? This is one part of the game that I'm forced to say is actually better with a keyboard and mouse, which, I don't know, is kind of worth a win on its own. It's really fun playing this way, to be honest.
I can't believe I ever listened to you!
Stupid, insolent brat. I'll take care of her as soon as I finish off that dragon.
Or you could deal with her before she very slowly strolls off.
If you can find more of the dragon eggs, I think my magic will be strong enough to open the portal.
Aren't you the evil, scheming little fucker that took them in the first place? How about you just, I don't know, give them back? Agent 9 now strafes normally, rather than needing to hold down L1 or R1, which now makes this level way more enjoyable. Insert Mario 64 slide music here. Bah, her boobs aren't pointy enough. With how rigidly the camera sticks to Sheila and how zoomed in it is, this area reeks of a poorly made Little Big Planet level.
If one dragon can lay 1 egg in 12 years, how long would it take for 100 dragons to lay 100 eggs?
I haven't used math since I graduated high school in 2011. Don't make me start using it now. One of these rootin' tootin' pistol shootin' dinosaurs is fine by themselves, but put 2 or more in the same place and suddenly you sympathize with all the mad gamers who break their $90 controllers over absolutely nothing.
Well, I'll be, so that's how my prisoners keep escaping.
By breaking the wall down? I figured you would have known, seeing as you, or they, put the wall back up. It's just like Mad Dog McCree, but nowhere near as unintentionally funny.
This one's super fast, but his saucer is damaged and it's leaving smoke rings. I think I can keep up with them as long as I can make it through those rings.
What? No.
Jump and collect until it is done.
Handle survives this. Would have been a great opportunity to stick in some pre-battle banter so this battle didn't feel as inconsequential as it did in the original, but I guess not. Would also have been nice if the sorceress were made to be an actual challenge. Would also have been better if the majority of the battle didn't consist of either taking control of a turret or a UFO, which, by the way, has some of the sloppiest controls I've ever seen for a vehicle. The sorceress survives this. Funny how others had issues with the original version of Spyro 3 not having audio play during cutscenes, and yet here I am with the exact same issue almost 20 years later in the remake.
What do you plan to do next, Perhaps a nice vacation in Dragon Shores,
You're a real comedian sometimes, Bentley.
The fuck was so funny, lol?
I adjusted Avalar's portals to take me to the Dragon Worlds, but somehow I ended up here.
To your own labs? Maybe it's time you retire, Professor. In the original Spyro 3, this island could only really be accessed by hacking the game. The fact that you can reach this island legitimately without the need for hacking or mods shows that the devs had a clear passion for the original games, and that's pretty admirable. Fuck this race, 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 fuck this race.
I don't know how she did it, Spyro, but the sorceress must have survived that last battle.
Oh, for fuck's sake. This was not worth 100% completion. Okay, it was worth it. On some versions of Spyro 3, the music for Sunrise Spring plays during the final boss. We're not sending the Reignited trilogy here, but someone's got to take one for the team. Pretty sure someone already said this, but I remember Spike being a lot harder in the original. His redesign isn't all that great either. There is no way the sorceress doesn't have any burns on her after falling in lava. How did the Tiki people manage to remove their heads and place them in spots that would be nigh impossible to reach unless you could fly? If you haven't mentioned it yet, the little shipping scene between Spyro and Allura at the end. It just makes my heart melt every time I watch it. The ice rink level in Icy Peaks was an absolute nightmare in the original game, but is now such a joy to play with a better camera angle and the setting. Roses and candlelight are so gorgeous. Spyro and the sorceress never once speak to each other. I'm not kidding. It's the same in the originals too. You still make these? Scene doesn't contain any furry lap dances. Bentley's new over-the-shoulder camera makes the whack-a-mole game way harder. Spyro 1, Nasty's Loot. Spyro 2, Dragon Shores. Spyro 3, Super Bonus Round? Insomniac was really rushing to finish development to the point where they can't even properly find a name for the bonus level. Give a win to the massive overhaul they gave to Sheila'S Design. She looks awesome in the remake compared to her generic kangaroo design of the original. People who hate on Sheila'S new design are knobheads. They gave her hips, they gave her hairstyle and a freaking vest? Oh no, Sheila'S ruined, oh no, woe is me. There's a section in Desert Ruins where you have to move between 3 different ladders you're climbing up to avoid the fire-breathing scorpion at the top. The camera is supposed to pan up so you can see him while climbing, but it doesn't in the remake, so you just have to rely on luck to get up there. Sparks' second level Spider Town gives no power up for beating it. In the originals, beating it gave Sparks the ability to locate the nearest gem by holding L1, L2, R1 and R2 at the same time. After an intense mating season, the male dragons bang the females to extinction and lay in a 9-month-long afterglow.
I'm retiring to Spooky Swamp to become a haiku poet.
As always, thank you to all of my patrons, and especially to Armile Knox, Diablo5564, Damien Maxted, Nation McAltile, Artium, The Dervinator, Sodden Grider, Sparky Butterfloof, Matt Beaker, Ace00, Nico Randall, Dakota Lewis, Julian Brown, Cooper James Price, Nathaniel Forrest, Isaac Lamp, Wastrel USA, Duncan Austin, Pastor Boy, Leo Alex 50, Heat Hoot Skyet, Global Truncation Era, Laurent Lacroix, Sheepy, Chatter Estop, Gapnikan, Sebastian Orbe, Travis Miranda, Thomas Hart, Lazaro Dave, The Ruby Red Rose, and Philip Iaki. As always, thank you so much for the support, and I will see you guys next time on the final E-Roar. Sniffle, sob.